拜天地。
我不拜，我不。
你咋不拜？
我不拜。
你咋不拜？
你为啥不拜？
我这一下子都给他要8万8，还进入咱家，还有咱俩的活路。
你啥意思？
这亲戚都来到了，你给你
我没意思，我不拜。
你为啥？
亲朋友来了，我就让请。
你看看咱都是人拜的，你看看你。
我不拜，我就让请吃饭了。你走吧。你不是听你闺蜜的话吗？你闺蜜付啥多少钱？
他闺蜜
啊？
这闺蜜都没付，有啥跟着呢？
太难，你闺蜜吃不下人都走了。
8万多没8万，你啥意思？你给我8万，你还亏了吗？你？
我没有8万。
谁家下车没有8万？
俺家没有。
人家没有，那人家穷。
你看这车都来到了，你那哪？你磕都为了你来的，你磕拜天你拜吧。
我不拜吗？
你咋不拜？
这还没进家门嘞，都给咱要8万8的下车礼。他是进了咱家，以后还有咱娘俩的活动呢。
咋没有啊？
要8万8，那我给他8万，我不要那块娘，不要那不给你那哪？
我无所谓。我
人家穷的给啥了？你家那房还硬气了的。
对呀，俺家穷啊，所以俺家结婚大件事我不打了，你走不行了吗？
怪不得俺闺蜜说那一句啊，给就是重视我。
你闺蜜
这重视我吗？
你闺蜜谁呀？
俺闺蜜在厂里。
走了，
啥走了？
啥都走了。他的感就这个啊，8万8。
你把车都来到了，都为啥来的？你看看你。
对了，你走吧，我不娶你了。
你把走就走了吗？你把我拉过来的，你把
我让你送走。
叫送走啥？你不是8万8我。你不要你还，我不要你还这8万8。你这咋说呢？
妈妈，你不让我还，你叫我养你大不容易。
不容易，我不要你还，你不要你还。
你走吧啊！我不给你。
不要你还，
赶紧滚，哪来滚哪里滚。
你看看这个看，你那啥？
妈叫左叫左妈，叫左妈。
对，你不要了，你就是你要1000万，你也是俺家的酒窝。
妈，我错了，我错了妈。我不应该听俺闺蜜的话，我给你要下车礼要那些，我这不是我后悔了，我不应该要。
你现在后悔了？你多会儿叫他打欠条时候，你咋不后悔？啊？你闺蜜说啥都是啥，你都没主见吗？谁家里能有8万8的下车礼给你预备了？谁家里能要8万8的下车礼？
我错了，
你错了。
办什么？
你现在错了。你就欠条来，欠条，啊，欠条在哪了？欠条来。
我死了。
你死了。你得感觉高兴啊！一辈子的结婚一场人，你们得高兴。
都干上回来。
妈妈，你别这了嘞。咱几个已经变成这样了，你咋给俺妈保证？
我保证以后好好孝顺你。我给俺闺蜜绝交，我不应该听从她的话，我不应该啥人没有自己的主见。其实爸妈确实是不应该要，你都是确实是都是自己都他自己。
我跟你说，像这种高价彩礼，都是被你让人带坏的。
我后悔了，我错了，我不要了，我再也不要了妈。
好了，站着吧，回家走。
我给你说明白哈，你认识错了。但凡以后再要作妖，我给你一天不过，咱能结都能离。
我知道。
知道了，走拜堂音。
站着。
现在视频我们看完了，不知道各位网友作何感想啊？现在我们看一下网友的评论。
We've just finished watching this wedding video that has recently gone viral online. I wonder how everyone in front of their screens is feeling right now. As for me personally, the twists and turns at this wedding were truly shocking. Some netizens commented that the bride being able to realize her mistake on the spot and having the courage to correct it is already quite rare. And the young man's determination and filial piety at such a crucial moment is truly admirable. This kind of admitting mistakes and correcting them attitude definitely deserves recognition and forgiveness. Another netizen commented, "The young man is filial and has backbone. The bride admitting her mistake and kneeling in public to apologize wasn't easy either. I wish them a smooth life ahead and happiness for the whole family." These heartfelt words also represent the sentiments of many viewers. However, there are differing opinions as well. One female netizen said, "If it were me, I definitely wouldn't marry him. Treating your bride like that on the wedding day? How good could life be afterward? Just chilling to think about." This shows that everyone has different standpoints and perspectives. Some people revealed that this indeed was a real incident that happened in Shangqiu, Henan. Although the groom's family wasn't particularly well off, the young man himself possessed outstanding skills and had a strong trade. He was confident about the future. The girl, fearful of public opinion and the pressure of the scene, eventually knelt down and admitted her mistake. The matter caused quite a stir locally. Indeed, this incident sparked a massive discussion, especially resonating strongly among netizens in Henan. One user summed it up. All three in the family are pretty good, the young man is a real man, the mother looked at the bigger picture and the bride in the end showed maturity. Their future days should only get better and better. There were also those advising the young man. If your wife can admit her mistakes, it shows she still has a conscience. You should take the win when you see it. Parents don't have it easy, and preparing for the wedding was tough too. Good things come after trials, and in the end you'll become a real family. One final comment was especially representative. This man is truly a real man. He dares to act, makes decisions decisively, and is someone worth befriending. He's responsible to his parents and to his family, and he has a sense of duty. A man like this will be popular wherever he goes and definitely has a bright future. Netizens' comments come in all forms, but they all reflect one common theme: a deep concern for marriage, responsibility, and personal growth. Regardless of one's stance, this wedding story indeed leaves us with a lot to think about.
我相信你肯定也听说过，身边有很多彩礼给了几十万。
As long as the tradition of bride price still exists, so-called gender equality is nothing but an empty phrase. You must have seen plenty of similar stories around you. The groom's family gives several 100,000 yuan as bride price, and just a few months after the wedding, the couple gets a quick divorce. What about the money? Most of it is barely refunded, or even outright refused, and in some extreme cases, the groom gives over 100,000 yuan during the engagement, but before the wedding even happens, the bride completely vanishes. No phone calls, no WeChat, completely blocked. These kinds of reports are everywhere in the news. Frankly speaking, how is this any different from street-level fraud? So let me ask one thing: how can men protect their rights in today's world? A single marriage can bring in hundreds of thousands of yuan. If you pull it off twice a year, wouldn't that be a guaranteed way to get rich quick? What could be a faster money-making method than this? Just take a look online. Plenty of women flaunt their divorce certificates proudly and loudly, while most men remain silent, too afraid to speak up. This is no longer about love. This is using marriage as a disguise for asset harvesting. To get married, a man must offer several 100,000 yuan in bride price. After the wedding, divorce is treated lightly, sometimes even the more divorces, the higher the return. What is this supposed to be? Is this what your parents meant when they said, "Raising you wasn't easy, I can't raise you for nothing"? They did raise you, yes, but they clearly failed to teach you what propriety, justice, integrity, and shame actually mean. In the past, bride price was meant to signify a woman's chastity, her willingness to manage the household, bear children, and grow old with you. But today's bride price? It's nothing more than a blatant transaction. In this kind of situation, do you still dare to expect such a woman to stand by you through hardship, and rise and fall with you? The rise of women's status is indeed a sign of a civilized society, no doubt about that. But some women, while shouting gender equality on one hand, on the other hand are shamelessly demanding cars, houses, and bride prices. How many of those women who marry foreigners still insist on having a bride price? Some even end up paying out of their own pockets. When foreign men invite them to dinner and go Dutch, they think it's totally reasonable. But if a Chinese man brings up splitting the bill during a blind date, they immediately label him as stingy and irresponsible. That's why more and more men are choosing not to get married, not because they're afraid of taking responsibility, but because marriage has become a high-risk, low-reward investment game. If things go south, you don't just lose your money, you lose yourself. In this kind of environment, talking about equality in marriage is a complete joke. As long as the bride price system exists, don't even bother talking about real equality.
这个男生包括男生家庭
Today, let's talk about the things behind bride price and just how difficult it really is for men. In reality, sometimes the man's side has to come up with a huge amount of bride price, and it's honestly extremely, extremely difficult. It's often a case of gritting their teeth and barely scraping it together. Don't be fooled by how glamorous it looks on the surface. There's actually a lot of counterintuitive logic buried inside. To put it bluntly, the less a man pays in bride price, the better his family's financial condition likely is, and the more capable and outstanding he is personally. Why? Because truly wealthy and confident families have no intention of turning their son's marriage into a transaction, and they certainly won't tolerate the other side setting all kinds of price tags, whereas the families that are especially generous, those who offer sky-high bride prices, are often the ones with weaker foundations. They have no choice but to pay in order to gain the woman's family's approval. Many people don't believe this real logic. Then take a look at real life. Are there examples like this around you? Those tall, good-looking guys with decent jobs and wealthy families, when they actually get married, they often don't want to give any bride price at all or just offer a symbolic amount. Why? Because they don't need bride price to impress anyone. On the contrary, it's often the guys with average looks, average income, or even unstable jobs who feel the need to splash out big money just to save face and have a chance to marry. So, when some women always think the more bride price you give me, the more you value me, that kind of thinking is really too shallow. A truly excellent man won't treat marriage as a transaction. His refusal to offer a high bride price is exactly because he has capability, has choices, and has dignity. And those who are willing to throw in hundreds of thousands, or even over 1,000,000 yuan, are mostly just playing the role of a weak buyer in a one-sided market. Many women only realize too late. A man who can afford the bride price doesn't necessarily mean he's a man you can entrust your life to. Sometimes, the moment that bride price is handed over, the man has already been drained completely, and the one you're marrying is not a man with confidence.
不得不说，现在这个社会，女性真的很团结。
It has to be admitted that in today's society, the solidarity among women is truly astonishing. They have, when it comes to marriage, formed a kind of almost unspoken tacit rule. If a man has no money, then I won't marry him. If you don't offer a bride price, I won't be your wife. This shared understanding has basically become a kind of silent agreement. In contrast, men have never truly been able to unite. Some have already seen through the reality and begun to awaken, but others are still hopelessly acting like Tiango, offering up their money and dignity with both hands. Many men, even though they have some money, insist on being the early rich who help the later rich Tiango. The money you worked so hard to earn, rather than safeguarding it, you voluntarily go funding a girl who feels nothing for you, still fantasizing that you can change her heart, even save her fate. You think this is poverty alleviation? You think you can move heaven and earth? In reality, you're nothing more than a willing volunteer being taken advantage of. I used to not really understand the phrase. Let some people get rich first, then help others get rich, and ultimately achieve common prosperity. Until today, I suddenly had a revelation. This so-called early rich means that a man first works hard to earn money, saving up millions of yuan. When he's ready to marry a certain woman, he then hands over a 5,000,000 yuan bride price to her family. At this point, her younger brother can use the money to buy a car and a house, her mother can go travel and retire in comfort, and the entire family suddenly becomes later rich. Isn't this the real-life version of the early rich driving the prosperity of the later rich? Of course, this is said with heavy sarcasm, but it does reveal a very real social phenomenon. In today's society, if you don't have any skills, no savings, and your family doesn't have some gold stashed away, then you're really not suited to consider marriage. Love in the past used to be, we shoulder burdens together, we pay off debts together, we strive together. But now the model has changed. Girls want to get a high bride price before marriage, and they want it written into the prenuptial agreement as personal property, so that if a divorce happens later, it doesn't need to be divided. If you happen to fall into debt after marriage? Sorry, that's your problem. She won't help you pay it off. She would rather get divorced than share your burdens. This kind of mentality has gone beyond sharing joys and sorrows. They don't even want to share the joy anymore. The blessings are for her alone to enjoy, and the hardships are for you alone to bear. The current marriage and dating market has already mutated. It has become twisted to an extreme. Let's say I'm a woman and you're a man. If you want to marry me, I will keep all the benefits and profits tightly in my own hands. And you are the one expected to contribute unconditionally. Even if you don't want to, you have no choice. If you're unwilling to give, there are plenty of other men who are willing. These days, women are quite united. Almost every woman asks for a bride price when getting married. Some more, some less.
But we men just can't manage to unite, still acting like Tiango. Some are waking up, but others are still licking boots. As long as Tiango still exist in this society, then fairness, justice, and reasonable distribution will all remain nothing but empty words.
我表弟刚说上一门亲，女方要彩礼20万。
My cousin just finalized a marriage proposal. The woman's side is asking for a bride price of 200,000 yuan. Getting out of the car, gift of 11,000 yuan, a name-changing fee of 36,000 yuan, and 30,000 yuan for the wedding banquet. An iPhone worth 10,000 yuan, 3 gold items totaling 50,000 yuan, and a mandatory apartment in the city with a 300,000 yuan down payment. They also demand a car worth 150,000 yuan. When you add up all the miscellaneous costs, it comes to more than 1 million yuan. And even for the house, that only covers the down payment. My cousin earns just over 4,000 yuan per month. Even if he doesn't eat or drink, it would take him 20 years to make that much money. Right now in the countryside, there are just too many unmarried bachelors, men aged 30 to 40, and when you ask around, there are dozens and dozens. There's actually no shortage of women either, but the problem is that their expectations are way too high. They're all afraid of marrying at a loss. They all want to find a tall, rich, and handsome guy with a luxury car and a big house, so that once married, they can be treated like a pampered young lady at home. But let's be real, where are there so many rich people? Most folks are just ordinary people. You women also need to weigh your own worth, or else you'll all be left behind. Just look at the older single women now. How many have already become battle Buddha types, fighting their way alone? Time to be realistic. The groom's side basically has to empty out the family savings and still needs to borrow money just to marry the bride. It's truly way too hard.
I believe we've reached a turning point. Men must unite now, not for some empty reputation, but to truly defend our own interests. Why unite? Simple. To firmly stop paying exorbitant bride prices. If you're willing to marry, then let's live life together. If you're not, then forget it. Staying single is better than being drained. This bride price money, we must keep it to live our own lives, not treat it as a price tag for buying a wife. The moment you hand over the bride price, you've basically become a penniless man. You take the hard-earned money you've saved up and hand it over with both hands. And what you get in return might just be a short-lived marriage or even cold-hearted calculation. Once the money's gone, you might not even be seen as a person in her eyes anymore. Think about it. Once you lose your financial foundation, will she still respect you? So, men must unite. And yes, I know that's difficult. Especially when faced with so-called beauty, men must hold the line. Don't throw away your principles just because of a moment of impulse. Stop fantasizing that money can buy real love. The reality is, the moment your money is gone, she probably already had an exit plan in place. It's time for men to come together and completely resist all these twisted feminist phenomena. No more blindly giving out bride prices, no more lowering ourselves for women with outrageous demands, and no more allowing the blatant plundering of male rights. Those women who climb the social ladder by exploiting men, who live off men's wallets, those gold diggers. We must rise up together, both in thought and in action, to completely shatter their sense of superiority. Do you agree with my view? Feel free to leave your comment. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. See you in the next video.